list is C. The level I'm looking for on C is a pop back into 54. You've got your previous quarter's quarterly pivot, but again, it's not just the pivot that has my eyes, guys. Look at all these lows. Actually, I don't need to draw that. Pull back, bounce, pull back, bounce, pull back, bounce. Now we're through it. I want old support to turn into resistance here. So any kind of spike up into 54, and I'm there. Now I do have another level, which is the 20-day, so up into that monthly pivot at 55.50, I would revisit it. But just like the NVIDIA idea, guys, I'm not going to ride this from 54 to 55.5, because when I take this at 54, I'm doing it with full size, right? I'm not going to ride something a 1.5 against me with full size. Why do I do that? Because if I'm right, I want to be right big. I don't want to be right small. I don't want to start half size or quarter size at 54 and plan on adding 55.50 and then it doesn't even get there. What if it works at 54 and I got half size? Now I got a little half size win. Full size for me at my levels, stop out when I'm wrong, revisit at the next level. That's how I roll, guys. And it's not right or wrong, it's just personal preference. That's how I trade. The next name on this list is PATH, P-A-T-H, and these guys got destroyed on earnings. The level I'm looking at is 24. I think 25 would be an absolute gift. I just don't think we get there, and the reason is just this intraday, right? You guys can see Friday. Was that Friday or Thursday? Let me check. That was Thursday. Thursday, when it opened, it had that push right up into the monthly pivot at 24 and stuffed and rolled over. So I just that was where all that volume was. So that's why I'm going to retry this trade up into 24 on a pop. You know, it's 2 points from where we closed, and it's got a $2.66 ATR. But again, if this thing were to get to 25, I have no problem again taking a small loss if I'm wrong at 24 and ready to break out Thor's hammer into 25. And again, that still could be wrong as well. I go into every single trade, guys, almost assuming to be wrong, okay? And I think everybody can benefit from that because, you know, if you assume you're wrong, it gives you the ability to stop out without hesitation. But if you think like there's no way your idea could be wrong, when it is wrong and you need to stop out, you're just gonna fight it. So that's a key takeaway, guys, is make sure you guys have that that preconceived notion that you're gonna be wrong. That way you just stop out, no problem. And the last idea on this list is BBY. And again, this one had, I think, a headline last week about lower than what was expected foot traffic and stuff. So I really do think that a pop back in the 95 is a really good spot to fade this. There's no pivot there. It was last month's pivot, but again, just the daily levels, right? Pull back, hold, bounce. Pull back, hold, lower high. And then when we broke this level, slam down. Now pops back into that, should be a good fade for me. So I'm looking for 95 on Best Buy. Last section is overbought reversion setups. So AEP, it's not there yet. This is one of those ones where I would like this quite a bit higher. 105s, that's what I'm looking at, right? And so where did that level come from? Back here. You guys see that, right? Pretty simple, guys. As I said, the simpler the better. 105, a big emotional spike up there on AEP. It's not the most liquid name, but I think we're getting extended enough that you could put some on and have almost a bigger picture idea on it, where if it does reverse and then starts to make lower highs, could actually probably be a good swing, because I feel like this is going to at least at some point retest that 100 level, and then if it breaks 100, I think 98s are in the book too. The next name on this list is LAC. Again, this one is just, oh, I remember what I want to tell you guys about this one. Where have I seen this before? Oh, it already did it right here. So here's what happens, right? You get these big blow-offs, consolidation, and then this big rip. Now you can see, let's zoom in on this day here. This day right here is basically what we're looking at possibly seeing on Monday. Big spike, you look left, you see these levels, and you know this is probably a good spot to fade it. And what do you know? It gave a good fade, right? But this chart is telling me that even if you get that day trade out of it, let's not get stubborn and think you gotta be looking for a home run trade here, because the next day it gapped up above those levels and then it was gone, okay? So again, this already happened, and you already see what the possibilities are. So let's just transition that right over to this part of the chart and say, look, spike up into that level 42 area, see if they start stuffing it and possibly get short, but not get stubborn. And then remember what happened last time and go, oh, if that happens exactly the same way, and then Tuesday they gap it up over that level, well, by God, what happened last time? Well, it gave a great long. So make sure you understand, just because this is a short idea, there could actually be a long in here too if something similar to what happened last time happens this time. But I am looking to fade this on a big pop up into those recent highs, okay? All right, the last idea is kind of a twofer. Tesla, it's not like super overbought or anything, but I do think that the fact that we got this little flag kind of forming up here, I would like to see this trigger along, right? Break above this trend line and get them bulls charging and pushing, and then see it fail. And if it does, I think we're going to get a nice unwind on this. No reason I don't think this can come back and at least test 1,000. Now, the reason I say it's a twofer is because if maybe you don't want to play Tesla, maybe you don't like trading things that expensive. Well, it's an EV, right? Well, what other EV names are there? QS. QS is not an EV, but they make batteries. And so it's going to follow that type of stuff. Now, again, it's not super overextended, but if Tesla gives that move, I think this is going to give something similar. And I think you're going to get a pullback into the 17 area. And this reminds me a lot of what happened previously. So you get these big moves, make a lower high, and then when we roll over, look, we retest it. And that was it. And then we came lower. So now we've done the same thing again. We made this run, and now we've broke it, and now we're retesting it. So we're right into the weekly 20. We're right into a bunch of levels. I really think this QS could give a good fade. But again, make sure you watch Tesla with it, because you always have to understand sector strength,